Hi, this is Sarah from the Lombard Historical Society, and welcome to Lilacia Park in historic downtown Lombard. Welcome to the Helen M. Plum Memorial Library. This is named in honor of Helen Marie Plum, and she was the wife of Colonel Plum. These two were the first that lived in this house up here on the hill, facing the big giant corner here in Lombard. Helen was a big library and book lover, and so in 1927 they named the first library that was their house right here up on top of the hill. In 1963 they rebuilt the library to this perfect mid-century modern architecture, and the roof actually looks like an open book laying on a table. This portion of the Helen M. Plum Memorial Library was built in 1977. It was built to expand the 1963 library that was built, and it was built completely underground here, so none of the library shades Lilacia Park. Behind me here is an American horse chestnut tree. Now this is kind of like a buckeye tree. Sometimes people call them an Ohio buckeye tree, but this common horse chestnut is not one that is chestnuts roasting on an open fire, but this one here was here when Colonel Plum lived here. It was in the side yard of his house, which stood right here on this property. And Colonel Plum brought a bunch of different trees here from Germany and from Europe at the time. He brought in ginkgo trees, and he brought in Schweidler maples, and he also brought in tulip trees. In modern times, with Lilacia Park, we have what is known as the Oak Meadow. The Oak Meadow, as it was designed, had 7 out of the 9 oak trees. Please look that up and find out what are the common oak trees that are found in Illinois. So there's a whole bunch of them, but we have 7 out of 9 here in Lilacia Park. Lilacia Park was designed and built starting in 1927. The Lombard Park District, when they decided to build a park, they got 3 different bids on what they were going to design. Jensen was one of them that submitted a proposal. At the time, Jensen was a world-famous landscape architect, and the Lombard Park District did not know if they could afford him. So Jensen submitted his plans, and when he did, Jensen was just paid over $10,000 to work on the Edsel Ford property in Maine. So when he was here and they asked him if he would design it, they sheepishly asked, "So how much would it cost for you to design this?" And he said, "Would $600 be too much?" And they said, "Of course not." So $600 the Lombard Park District paid him, and Jensen stayed here for 3 years, from 1927 until we opened in 1930. And his wife even worked as a librarian sorting books at the very first library in downtown Lombard. Lilacia Park, although we're known for lilacs, we're not just about lilacs. This is a 4-season park. Of course, in spring, everything starts with the beautiful lilacs. We have 700 lilac bushes, and there's over 200 different cultivars of lilacs that are here. When Colonel Plum lived here, there was actually 1,500 lilacs in this park alone. But now we only have about 200 very, very healthy species of a very specific variety. We also have many other different flowers and plants, so the park looks beautiful all year long. And of course, at Christmas time for Jingle Bell Jubilee, you can come back and see over almost 1 million different Christmas lights that are going to be lit up at the first Saturday in December every year. Lilacs are a very diverse plant. There's over 3,000 different types of lilacs, and they bloom, believe it or not, from the beginning of May or the end of April in this area all the way until June. There's early season, mid-season, late season, and very late season lilacs. So you can pick out which kind of lilac you want by when you want it to bloom. They also come in 7 different colors. It's not just one. There's white, there's violet, there's bluish, there's lilac, pinkish, magenta, and purple. Then you can get them single lilacs and double lilacs, and you can get them with pointed flowers or not pointed flowers, or variegated leaves or not variegated. There's so much diversity when it comes to lilacs. When Colonel Plum died in 1927, he had 289 different lilacs of the 300 known types at the time. He was a true collector of lilacs. We have behind us, we have the pond that Jensen originally designed, and he designed a lot with these organic products and these organic stones all across the park. But we're not just about lilacs in Lilacia Park. We are also about the festival and everything that Lombardians love about lilac time each year. So the first 3 weeks in May, we celebrate lilacs in Lombard with festivals and art and craft fairs and balls, and of course the crowning right here of each year's Lilac Queen. 2020 marks the 90th Lilac Queen that we are celebrating. So this is actually also the site where our very first Lilac Queen, Adeline Fleeg, was coronated. We also have in this main area of the park our favorite deer that children every year come and sit on her back and have their picture taken. This has been going on in this place, in this location, since early 1920s. So the deer here in Lilacia Park was cast in 1888 in a foundry in Philadelphia. And it was made for the A.H. Andrews family that lived at the corner of Main and Parkside. So when the house burnt down in 1926, the deer moved over here to Colonel Plum's property, and then he never left. He's been in many different locations, and sometimes he has antlers and sometimes he doesn't. Right now I just call him a winter buck because his antlers are gone, and they'll probably stay gone. But you might find pictures in your family's history or ours that you'll find him with the antlers and without. Thanks for visiting Lilacia Park with us today. Please feel free to share this with your friends and family, and visit us at lombardhistory.org and Lombard Historical Society on Facebook. Don't forget to donate.